Hi everyone, I'm not able to make it to class tonight, but I still wanted to share my progress with you. These are my ideas so far, and if you could give me some feedback in the comments area below, I'd really appreciate it. Thanks! First, let's take a look at my student proposal, which is using Storytelling Alice to assess knowledge of the food chain. Okay, so I described this a little bit in class last time. It's designed for grade 7 science, and it's an assessment that they can use to appeal to a variety of learners addressing pedagogy in the TPCK model. The lesson will really focus on spatial and creative artistic learners. And one of the department goals was to promote STEM careers whenever possible. So this assessment will also really help to introduce students to computer programming and the types of activities that are involved with that. My analysis will begin with a Socrative quiz testing students on their knowledge of the elements of the food chain and their technology skills with Google Docs, programming and coding, and video animation, as well as their dispositions for technology use. And then my technology needs are laptops with internet, which I already have in my classroom, Google Docs accounts. Every student has one, but we just need to make sure that they're all working correctly. And then finally, Storytelling Alice will need to be loaded onto their laptops, and the tech department knows of this need and is more than willing to accommodate it. Here's a quick overview of the standards that I'll be addressing. First and foremost are the PDE Grade 7 Science Standards, which focus on systems and how things within a system operate and work together, and then how energy flows through the living world. And then also I've listed the first 4 ISTE nuts for students, which are addressed throughout the project as well. I don't want to go through every single detail of the lesson plans with you, but I'll at least give you a brief rundown of what students will be doing in each of the 5 lessons. Day 1 is designed to give them a review of parts of the food chain, so they'll start with a brainstorm using Poll Everywhere, move on to a short web quest using Google Docs to fill in any gaps that I noticed in the pre-assessment that they took with Socrative, and then students will move on to create a content-to-own Google Doc, which is something that they'll work together to create, and it'll include all of the information that students decide is essential for someone to understand the food chain. So after they've completed the web quest, they need to decide what information they think is absolutely vital, and they'll be using this content to own document later. On day 2, we'll review the content to own, assign groups and biomes, introduce the students to Storytelling Alice by showing them a YouTube video of an animated world that someone's created. We'll review the requirements. Basically, all elements of the content to own document must be shown in their animation in Alice somewhere, and then an additional rubric for the quality of the animation itself, which I'll go over with them, and then they'll end with an exit card on Socrative. I just want them to brainstorm what types of animals and elements of the food chain they expect to find in the particular biome they picked. In Lesson 3, students will start with a Poll Everywhere. What makes an entertaining video or animation? I want them to brainstorm what types of things they should include to hook their audience and make their audience members interested in their animation. And then I'll have them open Storytelling Alice that day and complete 3 tutorials that are already preloaded into the program. They're excellent. It'll be able to show the students where everything is that they'll need to design their world. Chances are this is going to take 2 class periods, and the second class period they'll be working on their own. Day 4 is a research day where they'll look up the elements of the food chain in their biome and then create a storyboard plan for their animation, making sure that they have everything from the content to own and all the parts of their biome they need. Lesson 5, I'll show the students the online database to find their characters and backgrounds. We'll create a short animation together, and then students will use the next 5 class periods on their own to go ahead and design their digital world. Once they're finished creating their worlds, we'll take some class time to share them. They'll be able to assess each other as the instructor is assessing them, and then I'll re-administer the Socrative test to assess changes in knowledge, skills, and dispositions. Next up is the staff proposal, which is training with Google Apps for Education. We recently got our Google Apps for Education certification, so teachers have already been trained in Google Docs and Google Calendar, but we weren't able to train for the other tools because of some time constraints. For my analysis, I'll be administering a Google survey to determine teachers' schedules, learning styles, and dispositions, and then try to address some concerns within the district. We have difficulty scheduling trainings because of building schedules being different, and then also trying to come up with creative ways to motivate teachers to use self-guided study. We have 7 extra contract hours written in that teachers need to use on their own, and this training would give them the opportunity to do that. This is a list of the ISTE nuts for teachers that are going to be addressed through the learning experience. Lesson 1 will be for Google Sites. You can see that I've designed 5 separate modules. Teachers will create their own website following the learning modules that I've set up for them. And then lesson 2 will be for Google Groups, which is a new tool that was just released, and I'll be showing them how to do these different activities within Google Groups. Once teachers are finished with the activities, they'll share them with a technology coordinator who will certify that they're done, and teachers will be able to apply to use part of that time towards their 7 contract hours. Well, that's it for my project. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to your feedback in the comments below. Thanks!